Alright, roadkill. This one got better the more I let it marinate. I will let a couple of slacking pieces and languid discourse decisions slide to commend the general idea, and some strained and very much shot and altered night vehicle pursue groupings. Thus, bounce into the front seat, and we should take a drive through this one together. Great, welcome back. We should change this into gear presently, will we? Seeing examples or similitudes across films is regular. Not exactly this feels familiar, yet rather a murmur or reverberation of something natural. I had large numbers of those minutes with Roadkill, all being exceptionally sure affiliations, at an extremely superficial, Jennifer's body. On the two looks and disposition, driver, Caitlin Carmichael, likened to Megan Fox, with a smidgen of Scarlett Johansson. To such an extent that I did a rewatch of JB, whenever we first meet Jennifer, she's wearing a pink tank top and low-profile pants. Carmichael shakes a similar the whole film. In the event that this visual alone doesn't make them pause your breathing, layer in another sense, the tune Demise Hex by the Velveteers upheld the intense presentation. Assuming you want new grimy stone-implanted dollface content, this will do ya. Could I at any point kindly drop that and not be dropped? I'm simply recognizing the intentional thirst trap, while we're utilizing the word commitment and looking at involving womanliness and sexuality as a snare. We should change to promising young lady. Carmichael, similar as Carey Mulligan, works effectively at flipping the switch among blamelessness and fury. They are likewise both steadily dedicated to their retribution exertion. Literally nothing and nobody, regardless of how convincing or persuading, will move them from what they view. Mr. and Mrs. Smith, the battle groupings, both verbal and physical, between the driver and the drifter, Ryan Knudson, completely resembled an old wedded couple. And the manner in which the two of them return quickly, easily, and search out more from one another. Same energies, also, the most anguishing equal, Bones what not. Presently, I can't completely put Roadkill up close by Bones what not. That is simply not dependable. Bones and Everything is a ravishing, tragic showstopper, and Roadkill doesn't investigate the focal relationship in any genuine profundity. Be that as it may, goodness, this company is one I invite preceded and smart investigation of inside the loathsomeness setting. It is no simple errand to make screw-ups out of two rough and possibly unredeemable characters with their own remarkable directions, since that is what our narrator, Warren Quick, requests from us in Roadkill. We can promptly feel the strain here, regardless of whether we're not precisely certain what it implies. The driver's true capacity for savagery is uncovered, just somewhat, more slow than the drifter's, which is offered right off the jump when we understand that his mom houses him in the doghouse as a kid and disfigures his pet and just sidekick. Presently you don't need to battle about the canine food no more. Side note, the coroner, Doc, Mate Campbell, wears a Friday the 13th shirt under his white coat. I like to accept this as a sign of approval for convoluted connections among mother and child. Furthermore, in the event that you're a low-spending plan blood and gore movie handling some muddled substance, I'm down for recognizing constraints along these lines and being somewhat brazen. Tracking down local area, that feeling of having a place, can be something slippery. Particularly when perplexing, delayed injury is involved. You feel unusual in many settings. Detached. Awkward. Absolutely hesitant, standing by either so that somebody might perceive how broken you are. Or for you to mess it up illustriously yourself. I once told an accomplice, when I'm to say the least, I want you to cherish me harder. Whether you disdain yourself, your conditions, or a touch of both, when those sentiments surface or you are set off, I will contend you're in many cases your most exceedingly terrible foe. When somebody sees your light, it's unnerving. Particularly on the off chance that you're not prepared or able to do being seen. The drifter and the driver both explored actually, intellectually, and genuinely dull waters through youth. Through that, the two of them keep a delicate quality. We see it with the drifter and his canine, as well as the driver and the turtle. The drifter yearns for association and solidness. His fantasy on the land while seeing the youngsters and mother playing shows us what he feels would recuperate his internal identity. while we get the concise flash of sympathy with the driver, she doesn't have that equivalent vision or understanding yet. She yearns for vengeance, which just offers a bandage answer for those not prepared or ready to take a mending venture. With each kill, that bandage is fluttering in the breeze and not safeguarding the injury. Thus, when the drifter leads with help and acknowledgement and offers an earnest bid for association while she is at pinnacle fierceness, be the individual you really wanted when you were more youthful, the driver can't acknowledge it. She's not prepared or ready to investigate it, it's a grievous missed association, and she selects to keep driving him away, tumultuously and savagely. What's more, might you at any point fault her, however, I can as of now see others attempting to apply the twofold, appointing one of them great or fiendishness, casualty or attacker, legend or reprobate. Any individual who's had 2 or 3 outings around the sun realizes these titles are not fundamentally unrelated. Presently, I will require you to take a decisive right on your corresponding listening excursion and put on Taylor Quick's satisfaction. She's been enormous of late, so it feels right, and we really want to get at the delicate underside of roadkill. Also, the verses assist with handling that point. Furthermore, the miserable the truth is outrage and dread can be simpler to embrace than weakness. I realized there was something about you. All along, I knew. Also, I realize you saw exactly the same thing in me. Or, more than likely I'd presumably currently be dead at this point. In any case, absolutely no part of that matters a lot of now. We need to get out and about. Look. I done a few terrible things. Yet, I never did anyone that didn't have it comin', somehow. You presumably thought, similar to me, you'd continue forever up on the opposite side of this. It all makes sense to me. Make them pay. Pay for the hurt, you don't know torment. This is where I need to offer thanks to Carmichael for diverting those long periods of agony into her depiction of the driver. Past showing how the driver gets set off, she likewise carries that instinctive fury fundamental for the experience of being a lady who's felt a man's disposition for narcissism to their body. I should adulate Knudson for carrying delicateness and sympathy to the drifter. For not even once checking Carmichael like that. And in conclusion, a sign of approval for essayist Chief Warren Quick for composing 2 characters at totally different phases of understanding their torment and recuperating out. It's really awful they continued to point weapons at their most profound damages. Much appreciated, Taylor, rather than tracking down the solidarity to investigate what could enjoy offered them both some harmony.